Alright folks, greetings. Today our task is to retrieve a way droid from Golgotha so we could impress Barathromites, and hopefully they would let us in. Let's go talk to the merchant before we leave. I have been tasked to travel to Golgotha. My condolences to your sense of smell, friend, says Maffeo. Golgotha is an execrable place in more ways than one, and I would advise you not to visit without a healthy stock of yakweed and honey. If you can cook, a meal with yakweed may banish a disease before it comes into its own. Bring salves or herbaries too, and mind your feet in the cloaca. So from this description, I guess it's a dirty place and you can catch disease there. Unfortunately, we do not carry any yakweed. I don't know if he sells any. Let's take a look. Star apple. There's a plump mushroom. But I do not see any yakweed, unfortunately. I also don't need torches anymore because we have the glow spheres. So let's get rid of them. And I also don't think we need the flaming stuff. However, I didn't want to drop the chem cell. Yeah, so let me quickly remove the cells from the items I want to sell. Replace cell, remove. And this one is also an extra stun rod, which I may keep actually. I don't know. Let me just sell what I definitely don't need, which is the flaming stuff and the torches. That will give me some extra water and we are good to go. Let's travel upwards. Hopefully no more surprises. By the way, I have just noticed I haven't explored the top left part of the map, but I don't think there's anything. Yeah, it is kind of closed off. Yeah, okay. So we can go up. We have time to rest a bit because we have cleared all these areas from enemies. And I think we took everything from the chests, yeah. But I don't know what awaits me in Golgotha. So supposedly it's above, somewhere here. Here it is. Shrouded in the rotting jungle are the mouths of the rust caves of Golgotha, Chrome's graveyard. So supposedly it's some kind of toxic place, and I am lost. Well, that should give me a chance to find the yakweed. But who are you? What's the creature? Cloning. It's a robot. It has scalpels. So I guess it's some kind of a surgical robot. I'm curious if I can dominate it. Let's try that. Let's activate our ganglionic teleprojector. Oh, he resists domination. Who are you? So apparently I get a clone. The bloody cloning produces a clone of you in a flurry of flashing chrome and liquid, but the clone is friendly, so I think it has made a mistake. It is tough, so let me try to move away from it. I'm not trying to fight tough enemies. Interestingly enough, it doesn't fight my clone, so let's just let it be. We just found a quite useful chest and a bunch of wine wafers. I'll still get the arrows, but I don't think we need them anymore because we have Electro Ball. What are these trees? Ah, no, this is some kind of rubble. And I see something on the ground, which is a capacitor. Okay, so there is a bunch of things which are just scattered around I can gather for myself, which is useful. There's some kind of tanglewood tree. What's that? Its roots look like a wax colonnade. But I think... yeah, I just saw some kind of tube. It's an artifact, and there's another one. So let's try to understand what we did find here. There's a skull injector, which is... your movement speed is increased by 40% at night if we inject it, and it lasts for 1200 rounds. It gives us also +4 agility, but only during the night, and we suffer penalty of free agility in the daylight. We can also see in the dark, and we suffer double damage from light-based attacks. So apparently this is very useful at night, which is a good thing to keep in mind. Or probably if we are stuck underground. I'm not sure if it works like night, or if it checks the daylight outside, we'll see. And there's another artifact, which is a thermal grenade, which can come useful. Okay. Let's go and pick up a few things that we definitely need, but I want to avoid the turret. What kind of turret is it? Is it a musket or a rifle? It's a rifle turret. I'm curious if I can use my bow on it. Actually, it's not a bad damage. 7 damage from quite far. Nice, so now we have a way to deal with the turrets from distance. There is a lens I would like to take, and there are some bullets that I have from the turrets. So now we have plenty of bullets if we find some kind of useful ranged weapons that requires it. And apparently there's a way down, which I am curious to explore after I destroy this turret. And there was a blaze injector as well. So I'm curious to explore, but I'm a bit afraid to go downstairs. We are level 10, but we only have 46 HP, and that may be not enough if there are robots underground. This is just called subterranean ruins, so I'll make a few steps, but then I'll probably travel back to find out what's happening. What's that? It's a drill bot. It's a hostile robot with a drill. Let me try to evade it and go outside and hopefully shoot it with the bow. It's pretty fast, but I'm a bit quicker. And we managed to crit it for 24 damage. So electrical bow seems to be amazing against robots. And considering the area we are in, that's exactly what we need. That was a very lucky find. Don't see anything yet. There is some kind of a slug. What's that? It's a spitting slug, which is tough. So I think we're in an area which is a bit stronger than we should have been. And Voider is a spider. And we just almost got hit by ASCII. So I think what we should do... oh my god. I think it blocked us with the ASCII. It may be time to use a recoiler. Unless I can gather the ASCII. I don't think it's a good idea to put it in the water container. Yeah. But maybe I can kill it before it comes. 10 damage. 2 damage. 10 damage. How hurt is it? It's badly wounded. 7 damage. Okay, so I managed to kill it, but now I'm surrounded by ASCII. And I'm not looking forward to step into it. Well, it only did 1 damage to the ant. Maybe it's fine for us. We'll see, but at first let me kill all the enemies from the distance. I don't want to risk it. Like, it looks like a good place to earn some levels, but it's probably a good place to die as well. So, can I hit this wall? I seem to be able to damage it. I want to make a path around the ASCII. I don't know how long it will take. Let me try to keep hitting it until I get through, because I don't want to step into the ASCII. I would rather waste some time and eat some food if I get hungry. Can I hit the ASCII? No, I can't. And I don't want to waste water to try to wash the ASCII away. So... can I pour the ASCII? Yeah, I can theoretically pour it in the container. or in the backpack, but it's probably going to damage it. So only the lead acid cell, which actually may be a good idea to remember that the acid is here and come back, but it doesn't help me to get out for now. So I hope the Golgotha doesn't have these slugs, because they seem to be a lot of trouble for almost no XP. Yeah, so this wall is damaged, but I don't think I'm getting through. So I'll try to get through. Okay, it didn't trust my items, it is important. It did damage them quite a lot. So what I should do, I should probably risk it, get some damage, but get out. I don't know how damaging is it. It doesn't seem to be. Okay, I was afraid for nothing. What I was afraid of, I was afraid to damage some of my items. I don't want them to corrode. Alright, so that was not the best place to go, just because of the supposed difficulty of the monsters. Let's walk around a bit more and see what we can find on the surface. There is some food here. I think it's wine wafers. No, it's a tanglewood tree. Oh my god. Now there is a chameleon. Alright, so there was some food right here which I picked up. And there's an armor, but I don't know if it's useful or not. It's a bark armor, 2-1. Which is supposedly better than some leather armor. What's that on the ground? It's a star apple. Okay, so there is some food we could pick up, and we still have to walk around. Who are you? It's a puma, Kitina's puma. So it's a cat in Kitina's armor. I think I will want to run away from a few of these guys, just because they look tough. And the bow is hopefully going to be the best weapon in this case, because the puma seems to be quite strong. And it's also jumping around. Let me try to move out of the range of its jump. And it looks like the armor is pretty strong. Unless I crit it. So I'll try to keep my distance. It says average, but it has taken so many shots. It's definitely not a simple creature to fight. Okay. It's dead. I'll also try to shock this guy, even though he is tough. Maybe electrical arrows can do the job. Yeah, like when I manage to crit, that helps a lot. We almost got a level just by killing a few robots here. What's that on the right? It looks like some kind of pants. Let's go and investigate. What's that? These are cloth overalls. And I guess we don't really need them, but they don't weigh much. So let me grab them. I'm going to sell them, most likely. Okay. There's a chest out in the open, and I think, yeah. So I got harvest tree, and now some plants, like the one here, can be harvested. Let me get rid of amoeba, and we'll try to grab whatever is on the tree. Okay, so this is star apple tree. Can we interact with it? No. Is my harvesting on? It is. Yeah, now I harvested it, so now it's no longer marked. Alright, so basically we have some luck to find some plants, but it's not that often that we do that. Which means that the skill is not quite useful, I would say. But we will still make use of it. And we just got a carbide short sword, which has a lot of damage. Which means that I am thinking about replacing my stun baton. However, I will lose the ability to stun, so I'll need to think about it. But I'm definitely getting it. Also see that electric tick coming. So it cannot sneak up on me. What are these shoes? What are those? It's leather moccasins, okay. So there are a bunch of ways down, which I'm not excited to explore. I would rather stay around and get stuff from this chest. And now we have some meat and a desert rifle. So this rifle is 1d8. And my bow is... Can I look? Yeah, it's 1d6, so theoretically the rifle would be stronger in terms of damage. But it has a bit less penetration, 9 versus 10. And also I believe the bow has electrical damage, so I will keep it for now. I don't think I'm going to easily find a much better place. Also there is a slimy beetle bum fighting the ape, and both of them are friends, so I'm a bit sad about that. I would rather have as many friendly creatures as possible so they could shield me from the most angry animals. There's a bronze mace, which I'm not interested in. And what's that? There's a leather cap, which I can grab. But at first, I would rather kill... No, this is neutral. I was afraid this leech would try to drain me, but it seems to be ignoring me for some reason, which I'm okay with. Okay. So what's inside of this house? Well, apparently there is a turret next to this house, but we know the solution to it. Pardon me, but there is a puma. So let me try to sprint away and maybe hide behind the tree, so I could regenerate a bit and get a distance. Maybe it will go fight an ape, I don't know. Here something died, but the puma is not visible. The reeds are pretty high, so it may be hiding nearby. Let's be careful. Here it is. We do some damage, but it does return quite a lot of damage itself. So let's try to maybe shoot it and not move away, because it seems to be not doing that many hit points. Yeah, so apparently now we can melee the puma with the bow, but we should be watching the cell level of the bow, because it may be something that runs out immediately when we are in the most need. There's another carbide short sword. So carbide, I believe, is a material which is better than steel. So we are definitely in a higher level area, and I would like to find some artifact made out of carbide. What is this tube? It looks like some kind of syringe. Rubber gum injector. Does it make me bounce around? What does it do? Maybe I can eat it. Let's look at it. So it gives us 100 electric resistance and 50 cold resistance, but lowers our armor value. And it also helps us to resist bludgeoning attacks. And we can be grabbed, which is useful against some plants. But it's only 50 rounds. So I guess it's some kind of a tonic which makes you rubbery, so you can resist electricity, but it makes it worse to fight other creatures. There's a bunch of water skins which we can grab because they don't weigh that much. And I'm carefully exploring, and I'm afraid to run into a terrible creature inside of these walls. There are some terrible creatures, but they don't seem to be that angry. And also we would like to eat something, so let's do that. I'm still looking for some kind of yakweed plant, but I don't remember what it looks like. And it doesn't look like there's many trees to gather from. So while there are a bunch of friendly leeches and a beetle balm, let's make a camp and preserve our meat into jerky, which allows us to cook with this meat. And we can also apparently cook with ASCII again, but I don't want to do that, so let's use vine wafer. So now this effect is pretty weak. We stop thirsting if we take damage, which is not that useful at the moment because we have plenty of water. So we discover a location of Nowell. It's a goatfolk village. I'm curious if they're angry at me. I don't recall what is the status with goatfolk with us. Mine's 475. They dislike us, but docile, won't attack you. So if they don't have any guards, we may be safe. I will move very carefully. It's especially important because we don't see anything. So this guy is angry, and it's a sower. He has a strange plan. I think these guys are throwing explosives at us, so we should be very careful. And probably the first thing I do is move away. I don't have any desire to fight with grenade throwers, especially with my health. What's that? Well, every screen gives me a new enemy to explore. There's an ice frog. Hey, ice frog, where is Dota 3? Sorry, it was a terrible joke. And there is a forager of some kind of tribe, so I guess it's a creature in a mask, like a pygmy. So honestly, I'm not afraid of them that much, but I should be careful because there seem to be plenty of creatures. There's Naphtali Stalker and another Stalker. So I'm going to slowly move away. Hopefully they will fight each other. I'm not interested in the conflict. I want to find my bearings so I could travel. That's the only thing I want. There is a skunk, a honey skunk, and it's neutral, which makes me happy. But it looks like the enemies are pursuing us, so we should maybe stand and fight. Especially with our bow. Wow, it took a shot and it's still alive. It seems to be pretty strong, so I should be careful. I mean, I can't kill them. And they drop water, which is probably... Hey, wait, is it a metal canteen? Aluminum junk. Maybe it will let me grab some of that ASCII to go. That's actually a good idea. Let's get this. Then I'm going to try to deal with the rest of the enemies, like this ice frog, and walk back. If we have a lot of ASCII, we can basically recharge up ourselves with the bow for free. I think there's another ice frog. There can be plenty of them. Yeah, there are multiple ones. And it looks like I would like to shoot them. Oh my god. Suddenly, I am hit for quite a lot of damage and I think they slow me down. I don't recall where the speed is, but I don't think it's very high. So the first thing I'm going to do is to use my salve, which is definitely a waste, but I don't want to die to a random frog. That's my general approach to this game. Alright, and let's start walking away. We had full health, which allows us to kill the frog. Perfect. I swelled with inspiration to name my backpack. I haven't used it once. Let's name it and let's try to use it. Let's name it based on the qualities. So what color should it be? It's a flying helicopter. So I want to make it like camouflage. Yeah, it's a camouflage backpack. The male of the once geologists was a strange name, but I like it. So let's make our way back to the ASCII pit we had. I should be able to find it. There's another turret, which I can kill with my bow. And actually, let's load it with the ASCII cell. Good. Who are you? There's a giant beetle, which is easy, so I should be able to shoot it. But there are a few of them, so I should be careful. I keep seeing shots, so I don't think I have been specifically in this area. Well, I haven't covered at all. I am shot for a lot of damage and I cannot see by whom, so let's retreat and regroup, and I think I'm about to die. So let's hide and approach them from a different direction. I don't want to deal with the turrets when I don't see them. It seems to be a pretty bad idea. Where is the turret? I think it may have died to the beetles or something. So, yeah, we are safe now. I want to grab this component. It's a cracked lens. And let's do a few things. At first, I'm going to find where the cave is. Here's my campfire. So it should be somewhere to the north. I have forgotten to explore this house building, which may be useful. Not really. What's that? Is it a maze? It is a simple club, okay. But at least it didn't kill me. Yeah, I think I took everything from the chests. So, I'm pretty sure the underground area is somewhere nearby. Maybe it's below it. I already forgot where it was. But I'm really curious to find that acid pit. Yeah, it's to the left, I'm pretty sure. Let's see if we can discover the pit, the speed of this. What's that? Is it acid? No. Yeah, it's an acidic salt. I want this acid specifically. Like here, we have 62 grams. So let's do the following. Let's remove the water from the canteen. Okay, and now can we gather acid? Collect? Yeah, perfect. So now we have 62 grams and probably even more. Yeah, so now we have a full canteen of acid, which should be very helpful when we want to recharge our bow, which now has acid cell. Nice. So that should help us with the ammo situation for a long time. We still are lost, so we cannot travel, which means that we have to walk around a bit. I'm not excited about this, especially with these pumas around. But I guess it's better than fighting the acid creatures. At least they seem to be susceptible to the bows. And the robots specifically. Yeah, and it looks like robots actually drop some useful parts. What's that? It's a chem cell. So we seem to have plenty of artifacts to recharge our bow with, and otherwise we just need to find our bearings. Who is fighting me? Hold on, I just missed it. It's a mercurial, a braided silver column, laser mount. The fragile crystachrome shell shatters on impact and reconstitutes itself away from danger. Does it teleport? It does. Okay, let's move away from that. I don't trust it because it looks like it could shoot me or do something worse. Alright. Let's go, folks. Hopefully we can find a place which doesn't grow with robots, so we could find our bearings and fast travel. These pumas are everywhere. I can see at least 2 of them on the screen. At least the other one is preoccupied with the beetle. So I may be able to help it. Wow. That skunk just obliterated the landscape. But I think I hit the beetle, which made it angry at me. That's unfortunate. I didn't want to damage the beetle. So, sorry beetle. Okay, now we are somewhat safe. And I keep seeing more chests, so this area is full of artifacts. There are metal sheets which I can disassemble. And there is some meat. Which reminds me, I wanted to go to the options and turn on automatic disassembling. Here we go. So we don't have to worry about this. Let's see if we disassembled all of our items we have. No, we didn't. Since it's safe, I'm going to do it now. Okay. And let's check what's in another chest. A bunch of injectors. I'm especially happy about the healing one. Can I live in this house? I like it that it's made of concrete, but I don't like that it has so many monsters around it. All these pumas. And I think I just shot a beetle by mistake again. Which is alright, I guess, but I should be careful with it. What's that? It's a widget, which is a droid. And for some reason the skunk is angry at me now. I must have done something wrong. The one thing I don't know, I don't want it to spray me with that acid, because it seems to damage and destroy everything on its path. Where did the droid go? Here it is. So how are we doing in terms of the ammo? Okay, so we do use quite a few acid drums, but that should be fine. We can keep filling it. Alright, let's keep going. If I do not find my bearings after this screen, I may have to try to go in a different direction, maybe it will help. So we just got a V-short bark, and I think that bark helps us to actually heal ourselves, but it makes it crazy. So I'm going to reserve it for the most critical situation. What's in the chest? A carbide battle axe. Where is the carbide mace? That's a good question. This bow is doing a fine job at killing robots. Okay, so we finally regain our bearings. And we found something interesting. What's that? It's a shrine to Mathrad the Fourth, frigid lamp of mysterious strangers. So it's a sultan, a husband of Shappa, Ice Amaranth, and he died when he was 88. Okay, that's a bit of a history, which probably gave us some location as well. There are a bunch of robots which I want to avoid, because if the skunk tries to kill it, it's going to destroy me as well. I hope it doesn't destroy the statue, it would be a pity. Is the statue still up? Yeah, it's still fine, okay, so it's pretty tough. What kind of turret is it? It's a rifle turret, so I should be able to deal with it. Okay. Is it some kind of a mortar? What's that? It's a traipsing mortar. This slender, spidery robot jones slightly, carrying a single slender tube, which trails a thin wisp of smoke. I wonder if I can get... I wonder if I can get a flamethrower or something from it, but... because we just got hit by a lot of damage, so we will probably want to stay away, if possible. Maybe if we melee it, yeah, if we melee it, it will not shoot us, which is a good idea. It gave us 5 artifacts. Somehow I think those may be grenades or rockets. Let's see. Examine. Highly explosive missile. Interesting. So now I just need to find a rocket launcher, and we are set. Okay. So I have been going on for a while without leveling up. Let me find a corner. We will want to make a camp to eat, which is star apple and wine wafer. Come on. So if we use a salve, we don't thirst. Okay, we are definitely going to use a salve in this area. So what I was going to say, that we haven't used our skills in a while, so we accumulate quite a few points. We have 1000 points left. I could get butchery and spicer to make better meals, maybe even carbide chef. So if we are carbide chef, we can get inspired, and while inspired, the next time we cook a meal, we get a choice of 3 effects to apply. So actually we pick to make a recipe, which is quite useful. I'll think about this. I think I can get it already. Yeah, I can get it already for 100 points. I don't need to spicer or butcher. So I will think about it. Actually, pretty sure we should have some stat points as well. How much do we have? We have 1. So did we want to boost strength, agility, or intelligence? 25, 19. Let's take a look at the skills that we use. So we could try to go for the conch. Which may daze it automatically or stun. And we can also knock them unconscious. Interesting. Backswing will require a lot more strength, so we'll wait for that. In tinkering, we definitely need 29 intelligence, but it's a long way to go. Scavenger allows us to find scrap. And reverse engineer allows us to find a chance to learn about an item. So these two are probably the next picks we get. Before we do that, let me look at our bow skill. So we're actually pretty good without any skills right now. And if we do get this, we become even better. It also allows us to mark the target, which makes it easier to hit it. And there's a kickback. So during the fire, we can knock an enemy back, which is also useful with what I'm doing. So if we had a pistol, a good pistol, I would probably go for pistols, but this is what I'm getting now. Okay. Keep. Suppressive fire. So we can stop an enemy from moving. Interesting. What else? If we wound with a wounding fire, we can make it bleed. And the sure fire allows us to actually hit it from a distance with no accuracy penalty. Wow. So all of these three are amazing for the bow I have. And what's beacon fire? If the target is flaming or phosphorescent, the sure fire becomes beacon fire. So if we manage to somehow set the enemy on fire, we are going to have a guaranteed critical hit with the skill. And ultra fire, which basically combines all the effects. What's a disorienting fire? If the target cannot see or hear allies, the wounding fire, the one which bleeds them, reduces your armor and movement, I guess. Well, all these are nice, but they are like extra. Like for sure, I want to have suppressive fire. And I may want to get sure fire just to snipe somebody. That may be not the first thing I pick though. And since I'm fighting robots, bleeding may be not the best effect. So I'm not sure if the electric bow can make them bleed. We'll see. Okay. So the first aid would allow us to use bandage, so we still cannot do that yet. And heal, we can activate it, I guess. Yeah, when we are not attacked, we can activate it to regain some health, which could be useful. And set limb removes crippled effect, which I don't have right now, but we could get it. Okay. What else? We do have a bow, a blade, which is pretty nice. We could get into that, but right now we are more focused on shooting. We may also think about, well, governing is something that if we want to build a base, we will be able to mark it. I'm more curious about tactics. So we can sprint and still dodge. I don't want to throw anything. The charge allows to run away, maybe not always hit. And juke, we can swap places with hostile opponent. So this could be a game saver. If we get stuck, we could swap places and juke them. Okay, I'm going for that. So now we can sprint and not get penalty to dodging, but we can also get out of difficult situations. We still have some skill sets, and I'm thinking about going for Mind Compass, because it should help us not to get lost, and also we travel twice as quickly. Yeah, so this is useful if you want to travel, which I want to do for sure. With 350 points, I'm going to go for the Scavenger, since we will need bits, and Reverse Engineering. And we should go for the Carbide chest, yeah. And since we are dead, let's go for the Butchery. So now we spent all our skill points, but we have learned quite a lot of abilities, which are going to be quite useful in the long run as well. Not all of them are game changing, but I'm pretty sure that the bow skills, such as Mark, Target, and what else? I had some shots. They're going to be very useful. I do not see the shot skills. Where are they? Mark at target. Okay, interesting. Let me check if I forgot to learn them somehow, or if they use differently. So we should have suppressive fire. So maybe we need to mark first. Yeah. So most likely after we mark, we get the skill. Let's find a button I don't use, like H. Yeah. And let's mark a skill to that. Force bracelet, I'll put it on H, which will help us in the worst scenarios when we want to quickly expand the bracelets. What else do I not use that could be easily useful? Yeah, these two buttons. Okay, so I don't think Z is useful. Let me quickly check. Nope. All right. So Z will be my mark target, which will allow me to actually use advanced shooting moves, the bow, which still has plenty of acid. So now we are good to go, and I guess we are not that far. Where are we? Yeah, we are pretty close to Grid Gate still. We still need to travel quite a few points, but we should be doing it faster now that we have the special abilities. And as soon as I go to Golgotha, we are lost. But I think if I go up, I should find it. Who is this guy? It's a savage. So at least it's not a sower. I'm going to shoot him and hopefully kick him back. My kickback doesn't seem to work. Did I not get it? Maybe there's a chance. No, there is one. So it should be able to do that. How badly is he wounded? Yeah, he is quite dead, yeah, okay. We are hungry, and I see some effects in the top left. So I'm not really happy about going there. Let's make a camp. After we clear some hostiles, apparently. And there are frogs again. Okay, I think I just kicked the frog backwards, but it died anyway. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make the camp as soon as I... Oh my god, who are these guys? Yortwarden and Savage. So one of them has a gun. Let me hide in the trees and run away, because that's the best I can do. I don't want to become a god food. I think I'm not prepared for this. Yeah, I'm not making a camp while I'm surrounded by gods. There's a puma. I don't mind amoeba. Amoeba seems to be nice. And of course, puma went after me immediately. That somehow doesn't surprise me. Let me try to fight it. Maybe there's nobody else nearby. Okay, I keep kicking it back, so it has to move in, which is useful. And there's another guy fighting me who is a forager. I should be able to kill him easily. What about my cell? Yeah, it needs some recharging. Let's fill it. We still have plenty. No, I don't want to fill it with oil. I want to fill it with acid. We still have plenty of it. Okay, I may be safe now. Ooh, what a journey. Okay, we are able to cook now, which means that the enemies left us for a while. Okay, and this menu keeps trying to make me cook with acid. So now we have saves versus bleeding, which is hopefully helpful, but we need to find a way back to Golgotha. It should be upwards somewhere. Who are you? Why there are so many enemies? It's Naftali Rand, who is average, so we should be able to deal with it. Yeah, good. There's a corpse, but I don't think I will butcher it because it's not an animal. I forgot to check if I can butcher the corpse of this puma. Let's see. Well, there is no corpse this time. I think it may be getting darker. Is filled with inspiration to cook a mouth-watering meal. Alright, so carbide chef can be actually used now to make a cool meal. We'll try that. Does a blow gunner, and he's not a grenadier, so I'm not worried. Let's kill these guys. They're not dropping anything special, so I'm not very interested in fighting them. What I am interested in is to get back on the world map before it's too late and I die to some stupid godfolk sower or something. There are walls, and it made me regain my bearings, so we're almost there. How far is it? Just one step. So we did find the Golgotha, which means that if the enemies are much tougher than I expect, I should go back, otherwise I'm going to delve down. What's that? It's a slimy shaft. A white, dark shaft whose chrome walls are coated with stinking, vicious scum. You hear splashing and the drone of conveyor belts below. So this is some kind of factory. I think I should be able to use my helicopter backpack. Right? Where is it? Slime stained the mail of the once geologists. So if I fly, I should be able to go down the shaft without breaking. Right? It does say it's non-functional. But is it because it's not activated? Yeah, I think because it's not activated. So what if I clean it? Does it help? Let's see. It still says non-functional, so I guess we need to activate it. And I still have plenty of oil. What I should have done, I should have taken the oil from the rocket boots so I could fly for longer. Before I go down, let's explore around the place. Maybe there is a different entrance or something. But I'm curious to try my rocket pack. Like, one thing for sure is that it's definitely not the most common entrance, which means that there could be some cool stuff which you wouldn't normally find if you go through the main door. So I really want to try to fly in instead of walking through the door. We'll see how it goes. I also wish there was a button to just reload. Yeah, I can actually reload. But that would make me remove the cell. Instead, I want to have a button to reload with acid. It's unfortunate that it's not a hotkey. We'll see. So I'll have to do it this way. I'm just dreading the moment when I reload it with the wrong liquid. So I waste it. So this is a door, which is actually blocked. And maybe if we can find a key, we could enter that way. Also there's chameleon, and I'm not worried about this too much. Especially because we just got a level, which gave us attribute point. Now we can think of what to do with this attribute point. Where did we put it last time? I already forgot. I think we are going up through intelligence. We'll also want some agility, but we definitely need more intelligence. The intelligence will be useful when we deal with our tinkering skill. Is it 29 that we need? Hold on. Yeah, so we still have quite a few levels to go. The strength is always nice. And we can get the conch. Yeah, I think I was going for the conch. I almost forgot. So let's get another point in strength and forget it for now. But now we can conch, which will allow us to stun opponents. So now we have a skill to stun, a passive chance to stun, and a stun baton. It should be pretty helpful in melee. There go our skill points. But I can mark it, I believe, as another hotkey, which is not used. So now we can mark and conch. Alright. There are a few houses around there, maybe we can find a key. No, there are more shafts. So naturally you probably fall down the shafts unless you have this fancy security key. And more shafts. I'm surprised at the low amount of enemies. I do not trust this game anymore. You feel safe for a moment, and the next moment you suddenly get swarmed. So let's cook a nice meal. I'll get this jerky and I'll get this gem. Alright, so now we have ability to choose what kind of meal do we make. So we can stop bleeding, we can get extra HP and saves versus bleeding, or whenever we use the salve, we get extra HP but for 1 hour. So I would rather get a permanent effect to maximum HP and save myself from bleeding. And that also makes us learn how to cook. Map the quicks, meat sarapal baklava. Interesting. So if I try to cook now, I can actually make it from sarapal jam and beef jerky without the requirement to be inspired. So this is how it works. Apparently you start making your own recipes, I guess. Interesting. So we can make a traveling chef out of us. The next time I play, I'm definitely going to install the farming mod, which lets us farm bees, wine, and juice. But for now, this will do. Cool. And we can forget it if you want. But in any case, we are ready to go. We'll go through with our backpack on, so we don't fall to our death. And otherwise, I think we are ready to take on this challenge. If not, it has been a fun run, but that is something that we will learn next time. See you in the next video. Bye bye.